Happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there. Big shout out. Welcome to the MFP Modern Father Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Marcus, and I have the other half of the podcast, the big time host, Hacksaw Jim Duggan of podcasting. Benji, how you doing?
I think I'd be more excited about that if I knew who that was.
You don't know who Hacksaw Jim Duggan was?
No.
Dude, he's the guy that... So WWE back in the day, this might be before your time. Oh my goodness gracious. He's the guy that used to come out with the 2x4, the plank. He would hit people over the head with the 2x4. It was like the best weapon. It was like... It predated the chair before they started using like the metal chair or like the Hakimbo sticks or anything like that. Dude, he would bring out the 2x4 like straight off from Home Depot and like just slap it over your back and it would just break. Oh man, that guy was one of the best wrestlers, man. He's Hall of Famer.
Well, I guess it fits. I'll be slapping people over the head with knowledge that they need to hear. So I can see the reference, but I do not know who that is.
Alright.
So I might have to do my research. But yes, happy Father's Day to everyone out there listening. We appreciate you tuning in today. We've been on a little bit of a break. We haven't had a full episode in a while. You know, I had surgery. We had things transitioning in our private lives, but it was nice to kind of step away from the podcast, reflect, review, kind of see where we're at. And Marcus, real quick before we jump in, we've been doing this now 6 months, about one episode a week. How do you feel about it?
I think we need to turn up. I want more. I want to give the people what they want and bring more content, more everything. I know I've been sleeping on like short form stuff and everything else like that. I've been transitioning to try to find a warehouse, industrial property, and that's just stupid, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, like I'm gonna try to find a specific warehouse to house certain things, and taking out LLCs and shit. And yeah, man, I've been busy with a lot of stuff, but at the same time, I would love to bring this podcast to a week. Like kind of like summer football, two days. You know, let's get it going, let's get it cracking. But other than that, man, I think we're good. We just gotta keep giving the people what they want.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I've been wanting to do a podcast for a while. I had all these different ideas of what I would want to talk about. I think one thing I'm excited about getting into moving forward is just more interviews.
Yes.
One or two interviews, I believe. But I know there's a lot of knowledge out there in the world that, you know, would be very beneficial to folks who listen to us on a weekly basis and for our own selves on things that we can improve on. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to doing is getting folks to interview. And I have a slew of people I want to reach out to. And I don't know why I've been hesitant to do so. But that's just a hump I have to get over, which was the same hump that I had to get over to even jump on the podcast in the first place. I know once we get that rolling, we'll be on to something a little bit more special as well.
Do the Humpty Hump.
Straight up. I got the glasses on and everything for those who can see us. And I got a big ass schnoz. So we're good.
I mean, it's not even that bad. I've seen worse. One thing that my wish for you, fix your background lighting. Your background lighting sucks.
Yeah, I don't care.
You want to give the people what they want. Especially, it'll improve your schnoz.
I don't got
like, imagine if they saw like a nice like green. I'm gonna send you some lights. That's what I'm gonna do. I have 2 lights that I can send you. I'm gonna send you some lights, and you can just plug them in, and then your kid can go over there and press them too. Like your baby would love it too. It's like an ultimate, like it's like a bop it, but like it would be amazing. It'd be like a 2-form thing.
My crib is little. I lost my office for the baby. I'm literally using her changing table area as my setup right now. I'm good. I don't care. I like listen to my words, not the fucking quality of the video. I don't care about that right now.
Production is key, my friend.
Especially
in this business.
Content is high key. It's not even low key. Production is like once your content is legit. Right now,
our content is legit. That's the thing. Our content is legit. We just gotta get the looks right. Looks like you're filming from Al Qaeda right now.
It's cool. I got my painting in the back. I got the nursery.
Exactly.
I'm doing that. It's about fatherhood. This is my current stage of fatherhood is
grimy.
My ass, this is Abe. Her bedroom is straight out of a fucking magazine. It's called Sacrifice. That's what it's called. It's called Sacrifice. It's like my daughter needed her own room, her own space. I hooked it up when she's not in here. Now I'm going to use it for this podcast. But I'm not gonna go all over the top until I have my own space.
Bruh, bruh. See this right here? This right here is a Sony Handycam, right? This is what I was using before I went to 4K. And, dude, I think I'm gonna send you this. And all you do is you just gotta get a little small tripod for like 15 bucks off of Amazon. And then just plug it into your computer. And then you have like a much better webcam going. And that'll change everything. That's all you need. This is all you need. I got this, picked this up for like, I think it was like 100 and something bucks. It's cheap, dude. I barely even use it. I might actually use it for my buddy's wedding because I might be using double cameras. But if you want me to send you this, bro, I'll send you this. And then like, man, that's an upgrade right there. That's the homie hookup right there. That's for the homie, and you can just try it and just see if it works. That's nothing but a mess.
I'm just not sure I care enough.
Well, you should, because this is our podcast. This is male improvement. We should be in. We gotta. Okay, so I listen to a lot of YouTubers, right? And it's this guy named Anton Daniels. Shout out to Anton Daniels. I thought about joining the Bag Chasers. I think I'm about doing that because like he's really good about male enhancement, investing in ourselves. And they say, and he says this, that black people and like people of our ilk, because you are Afro Latina, we don't take money to invest in ourselves. And especially like with this Father's Day and everything, we should be investing in ourselves. And it's gonna take some money. It's gonna take some time. But why not? If we want to be the best podcast, right? We want to be the best father podcast out there, right? So why don't we take the time, the money, the energy to invest in ourselves and invest in our podcast, because that makes a huge difference. Because we shouldn't have to make it and then okay, let's go out and buy all this da 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 da. Like let's be there, and so then we can already get those people already. Because I already say this, people are already like, hey man, like I like your camera. Your camera looks good. Like hey, where's your boy's camera at? Where's the stuff like that? I got you right here, bruh. I got you. I got you. Live in the closet right now. Live. We're live in the closet. I'm live in the closet. I'm in a closet. I'm in a closet. I've made my closet a studio. This is right here is gonna change. This is gonna upgrade right here. We gotta invest. So I think that's the if we're gonna talk about making this podcast better, full investment. 120% grinding.
I'll think about it.
Ah.
What do you mean? I'm not just. I just. It has to make sense.
It does. If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And if we want to make dollars,
Investing
especially
into
like
yourself,
you,
I totally understand all of that concept, and I do
good.
believe in that. But again, I mean, like a little camera, yeah, I could probably do that, but it's just not high on my list right now of priorities and things that I need to be focusing on. I got a lot of moving pieces to deal with that I'm navigating that are far more pressing than the quality of my camera. So, for those listening out there, I hope you are enjoying my 720p right now, or whatever this is. I don't know what the resolution on this joint is right now. But you get to still, hear my lovely voice and see my handsome smile on YouTube.
Live from under a rock in Denver is Benji from the mountainous ranges.
I'm an old man, but I might change. I like to keep shit moving and grooving the same way. And I'm also like, I guess I got falls into like how I was raised. Like you don't replace shit until it's broken.
Ah,
So it's not like I'm looking like an N64 character right now. Like you're like, come
you're
on,
not
man.
Roblox for sure. You're not Roblox, definitely. You're not Roblox or nothing like that.
Like I could understand that, but like it's a mentality of just I don't really believe in upgrading like that unless it's broken, and I think that's just from my upbringing. So it is hard for me to just add unnecessary because it's not necessary to be successful. It's necessary to help it doesn't mean just because you have a new camera that your views and everything's just gonna shoot up. It could help. It makes you look maybe a little bit better, but I am a true believer of the content is good, the content is great, everything else is going to flow into place. And when you do need those upgrades, they become a necessity to expand, not necessarily an optional upgrade. And I think that's where I'm sitting with it.
Long story short, you just don't want to invest that much in the podcast. And we're gonna move on. So Father's Day is coming up, and we are sitting here on one of our favorite holidays here. This is like the Christmas of Modern Fathers podcast. I think just the MFP just sounds dope though. The MFP. This is the luxury day of the MFP, and I believe that we should be celebrated more. But when we look at the pantheon of holidays, I think what Father's Day is probably 10th or
I don't
12th.
think it's that high. I've seen a lot of comedians say jokes about Father's Day and how like it ain't shit. Like he said he looked at it like I saw a comedian looked it up and he was like it was after Columbus Day as far as like the importance. And he was like, yo, Father's Day is after Columbus Day. Bro. Half the country doesn't even celebrate Columbus Day.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It's not like a high-ranking holiday. It is definitely not. It is not in the top 10. Jersey is
So,
retired.
what would you do to try to? I mean, like overnight, we're not going to turn this into like a top 10 holiday. So, like, if we shave off like and jump 2 or 3 holidays a year, I think that's a acceptable, reachable goal. Like, how would we go about doing that?
Man, you know what makes it hard? I think it's hard because a lot of dudes don't make a big deal about it. You know what I mean? I think that's a big deal. So how do you quantify it, right? Because what they're really looking at is money spent. But a lot of men out there do not like gifts like that. They don't like they don't want something bought for them. They don't want money. So how do you quantify that? And that's how they're using that as a ranking system. Where like for Mother's Day, you go out and you buy flowers. You go out. Obviously, you're gonna go out to cook because if your wife or your girlfriend or your long term partner is the one who cooks all the time, obviously you probably don't want her cooking that day. So that's two opportunities to spend money. You know what I mean? Probably a gift, right? Because she gave you a child. I mean, she birthed you a child. For a dude, what do we get? Like steak that we make ourselves. You know, like some new Nike Monarchs, or some new jean shorts to cut the grass. Like I don't even know what I would want, to be totally honest with you. Like I don't even have an expectation for this first Father's Day. So I think once I experience it and I kind of get a gist for it, then I think I have a better answer. But like I can't think of something right now because I don't really want anything.
So I think now we need to set the bar high for our standards. So, like a wife, like you said, they would want cards, flowers, candy, a night out at a restaurant. I think now it's time for us to set the bar high. You know? Like say, hey, I want a video game. I want you to buy the new MLB The Show for me. I want a PS5. I want something for my car. I want a new piece of equipment for my whip. You know, something that I've always wanted for my whip.
I
I
could
think we need to start setting the bar high.
I could see that, and I think that would be like reflective of the relationship. You know what I mean? Because I mean, so my wife's push present, I bought her earrings, right? And she bought me a PS5. So like that was great. That was a good trade off. I bought her some earrings. I got a PS5. Everything was great. Father's Day tomorrow. I mean, I'm not sure, dude. Like maybe some. And I'm very simple, man. I'm not hard to please. Like some breakfast, some good breakfast. I'm cool with that. I don't mind making my own steak if I need to. My wife makes a really good steak, so I would prefer hers over going out to dinner, especially with the baby. It's just I don't enjoy. It's not that fun all the time. and
Hmm.
it's like really dependent on we when we do go out to eat around our nap times. So it's kind of hard to do that with steak. I don't know, dude. I think I might end up getting emotional tomorrow. I don't know. It's a
Really?
big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
To me, it's a big deal. Like I actually try. Like I'm not just like unintentionally going through fatherhood and just like Homer Simpsoning my way through. Like I'm fucking trying, and
Right.
I've made a lot of changes, and I'm not gonna say sacrifices, but I've done a lot of changing and like self reflection and internalizing of shit that I knew I needed to change for the sake of my child. So like having a day to be acknowledged for all of that is kind of dope. Thinking about like my own childhood and not having my father around is kind of like surreal. Of like now I have my own kid, and I want to make sure I'm always in her life. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I might end up getting a little emotional tomorrow.
I'm glad you said that. My first one was last year, and dude was not even a month old. What is today? Today's the yeah. He's
Nah,
not even a month old. He wasn't
yeah.
even a month old when I get my first Father's Day. So like I was kind of in like a holy crap, like I got this, opportunity here to like raise this kid and be a part of this kid's life and just be an amazing dad, strive to be the best person I could be. I think that was like the tipping point of like, hey, I got many, many years of this, and I know I'm gonna be great at this. I know I'm gonna be terrific. I know I'm gonna put 100% in this. So whatever I do, I try to put like at least 100% into everything that I do. I was more joyful my first time, and this time around now, like now that I've got the full year under my belt, now it's like, all right, what can I do better? I'm more, like you said, reflective and more observant of my behaviors, and but at the same time, I loved this year. This year was amazing. This year was so much. Okay compared to last year when I was coaching basketball at a high school level, which my team like we could have been better. We were like 1 in 15 or something like that, 1 in 16. And dealing with like a whole bunch of high school students and dealing with people that weren't my kids, and I'm so much more at peace and like I'm more stress free. This has been a great year. This has been a terrific year, and just being around my son, like he's a happy dude. He's a great dude, and he'll just look at me and smile and do his little laugh, his little like laugh, and it just gets me to laugh every single freaking time. Dude. It's like, man, like you're so like amazing. He just like stares at me, especially like when I'm working out. He just stares at me, and he just like. And it just makes me smile like every single time. I just stop and I just start cracking up laughing. That's the kind of stuff that like makes me like love a day like Father's Day, because those little moments like that where like your kid or your kids are just so happy is because of you and the things that you do and the positions that you put them in. And I'm glad you're gonna get emotional. I'm glad you talk about that, man. I'm glad you brought that up on the podcast, because there's a lot of dads out there that be like, man, I gotta show my emotions, man. I'm out here, I gotta be hard all the time. I gotta be 24/7. Like, no, man, let it out. Have your feelings, and then come on the podcast, put in the comments about your feelings. I love it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's gonna be a little bit of all that. Like my daughter does the same thing where she's just like she does this like fake ass laugh where she just like forces it out and then she'll stare at me to see if I'm looking or if I'm paying attention. And that's just adorable. Or like there are days where she knows she's being bratty and I'll just look at her. I'm like, I can't stand you right now. And she'll just smile at me. I'm like, dude, like this is not fair. You know exactly what you're doing right now. You're over here making noises and like not one tear. You're just a bunch of wah wahs with no tears. Like nothing. And she's just there waiting to see if I'm gonna come and bother her or something. It's been beautiful, man. Like I it's funny, like I've seen myself as a parent since I was like a teenager. Like I've always been around with other people's kids and I always knew it was like, man, I want to be a dad one day. And thankfully that didn't happen when I was younger and not ready. So being able to have her and feel like I'm emotionally stable to do it, I'm financially stable to do it. I've gone through all of my formal education years and gotten my degrees, knocked all that out early. So being able to just spend a lot of time with her and just see her grow and start a family has been it's been dope, bro. Like I my definitely my biggest and greatest accomplishment so far in life.
Hey, hands down.
Out
It
of
should
everything,
be.
hands down, out of everything I've
Yeah.
done. Like I went and bought her earrings yesterday. I got her two little diamond stud earrings. Try to get her ears pierced. Claire's was on bullshit because you got to buy theirs. And then this tattoo parlor was like, you got to make an appointment, and we don't do kids smaller than 6 months, and she's 5. So I was like, all right, well, I got to keep looking for a place, but she has her earrings ready to go and get popped in.
DIY.
Nah, I'm good. Nah, you can actually go. There's actually like piercing places that have registered nurses there all day, and they just sit there and pop and they pierce kids' ears. It's
Uh,
crazy. I
that
didn't know
is
that was
super
a thing.
crazy.
They're getting paid like $25 an hour to sit around and wait for someone like me to walk in with a baby to pierce their ear.
Right?
So
Right?
we're gonna do that. I'm thinking sometime this week we'll knock that out. But it was cool, man. I bought her little diamond earrings yesterday, and
My
the girl
earrings
at
were
the
DIY. Like,
mine too. But I'm
yeah.
not gonna do that to her. It's always my
No,
wife's.
man,
Yeah.
it was super bootleg. I had the homegirl Nicole. She came through and just put a lighter to a needle, and then just boop, it was blood everywhere.
I didn't even use a lighter, bro. I just put alcohol on there and I just stabbed right through my ear. And I was just
Yeah.
like bleeding everywhere, all hot. My ear was all hot. Yeah, it was like, yeah, that was not a great idea. No, I'm gonna get hers done the right way.
Early 2000s to like 2010, that was the way, bro. Like you, who needs a shot when you got a needle, some alcohol,
That's all I
hey,
use.
that's
Needle and
all you
alcohol. I
need.
didn't even know about the burning it. I
Yeah, you
didn't
burn
know
it
about that
first.
shit. I didn't know that till after. It was already late, dude. I just remember looking in the mirror. I looked in the mirror, bro. There was just blood all over, just dripping down and shit. It was bad. My face was hot. My ear was hot. I was like, "What is going on?" Yeah, it was.
It's all on fire.
Yeah, no, the baby is not going to have that experience. She is going to be
You
done
have
up the right
CPS
way.
at your door.
Oh, girl at the jewelry store was like, "Oh, you already started her off with diamonds, and ooh, she's gonna be a handful." I was like, "Yeah, for broke motherfucking sons when they get older, don't be playing with my daughter. She been diamonds since the womb, shorty."
Right?
Is that real?
Are you looking forward to that, like policing and like guarding the dudes that are gonna be after your daughter?
I'm gonna have a little fun with it. I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm gonna have some fun with it, and I know my homies are gonna have a lot of fun with it too. Like, and I feel bad for folks who gotta come through and they gotta see me and the homies all at the same time because I know they're gonna be heavily involved in just seeing who's coming around, and they're not, like we always say, we come from a tough crowd. Like we hit below the belt. We say some rude, mean shit to people. We always got something to say, and it's always funny. And if you do something, bro, you're not going to hear the end of it. So, a bunch of silly motherfuckers like me and some 15, 16-year-old little boy. Yeah, he's in for a long introduction.
Is it
Yeah.
gonna be on the level of Bad Boys?
Oh yeah, it'll probably be a little funnier than them. Like even my niece is 20, 21 years old, and she had a little boyfriend, and she was talking to my sister about it, and my niece is like, yeah, I'm not gonna. It's like, don't talk to Benji yet. Like, I don't know if it's serious or not. Like, and he's gonna make this dude cry. Like, he's gonna say something to him, and it's like, so she was very worried about me meeting her little boyfriend until she thought it was legitimate, which I thought it was cool too. That shows a little bit of respect. I don't want to meet no goofy ass dude.
Right. Yeah, man, you gotta be prepared because there's gonna be a lot of goofies out there that are gonna be, wanting to court, But then especially nowadays too, when I mean, you're in the middle school level. I was in the high school level. It's almost like there's 60-40 on like a goofy to like dudes with purpose level. at those kind of
Yeah,
levels. There's a lot of goofy young men out here, man. Like, and I'm not talking about squares because like there was a lot of squares, but the squares had a purpose, though. You know what I mean? Like there was people who would do like, hey, well, like I'm an artist and I watch anime. But they were good ass artists, like they were draw like they would draw some dope stuff. I had some like dope stuff that some of my students draw in the high school, like it was like dope anime that they would give me. Like I told them, hey, like my favorite dude was Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. They draw me like a Vegeta, and it was like a super sick drawing, like of him like powering up and stuff. That's kind of stuff to me is like, all right, this dude has purpose. Like he's a square though, but like, what do you think about square dudes coming through? Like,
I'm cool with everybody. I mean, I'm more just about. I want you to be yourself, man. If you're just a cool
mm-hmm.
person, cool principles, you come from a. Even if you don't come from a good family, because I ain't come from a great family environment myself. So, if you're a little shorty with purpose and you're upstanding dude, I could deal with you because a lot of the stuff that you're experiencing or going through is either forced upon you or a phase that you're going through, and you're figuring I'm not gonna be an asshole to a little kid. Cause I was that kid, right? Like the girls did not want me meeting their daddies, and when they did, sometimes daddy got something to say, and I'm quick with it right back, and I'll say something right back to you, not in a disrespectful way, but in a more of a playful banter. But you ain't gonna get over on me like that. So I think as long as you can do those things, I'm cool. I had a lot of like this year, a bunch of little middle school all dating and shit. Shit's hilarious, and I'm out there just trying to. I'm not parenting them, right? I'm not there to parent them, but like they come ask me for advice, or I just be like, "Hey, you treating her with respect, and you being respectful too." And they're like, "Yeah, sir, yeah, yeah." I was like, "All right, bet." That's all. I was like, "That's all I asked for. I'm not here. I'm not here to parent y'all, but just don't do nothing stupid. Like you guys are kids at the end of the day. Like I can't stop you from liking who you want to like. Be respectful of one another, and remember that y'all are kids. And if it doesn't work out, don't get all vindictive and be all thirsty and doing all this shit to get back at people." And they actually listened, and it helped a lot because we had a lot of like boyfriend girlfriend switching and swapping, and this person and this person. It's a constant thing, bro. So we were able to really maintain it by just being having to have that open line of communication about something that was important to them.
Yeah, relationships don't last at a middle school and high school level. That's why like, I really, when I look back at those, I'm like, those were practice more than anything. I really think that I'm glad you talked about mentorship because a lot of young dudes don't have either mentorship at all or proper guidance. So like no one's actually walking through that process with them and talking to them about, hey, this is relationship situations are going to be like this. There's gonna be times like when like you are gonna go through these scenarios, and here's how I handle these scenarios. You could take it information on take it or leave it on the information. I think those should be celebrated also too in Father's Day. The mentors, the ones who are the coaches, the people that are in your lives that are giving you the great feedback that are helping you out through plenty of situations in life.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm not their dad, or I'm not a relative, but I do try to be a positive male role model for both boys and girls in the school. Um, and I mean, they like it. I mean, half my students call me Theo, which is uncle in Spanish.
Hmm.
Like half my kids call me uncle in Spanish, and I'm everybody's Theo. And I feel like I've always kind of had that influence on younger students, and even in the high school kids, same thing. I was They would be like, "Oh, here comes big homie." And I'm walking down the hallway, kids are getting out of pocket, and the high school's heard it. The high school kids were like, "Man, shut up, man! That dude's trying to help y'all. Shut up, y'all are being ignorant right now." So I've always had that type of relationship with the youth, and it's special, man, because by doing that, you're transforming lives. And I've seen a lot of dudes, a lot of men in schools or in different nonprofit organizations that I've been affiliated with or worked with or done partnerships with. I mean, there's a lot of strong men out there who are trying to help kids who are not theirs all the time, and definitely need to be recognized. Maybe not necessarily Father's Day because that's not they're not the dad, but I think Father's Day can have a little twist to it, right? A little modernized twist to it, where it's really celebrating men who mentorship young youth, right? And whether you have to because they're yours or you choose to because it's a part of your personality, I think it's an opportunity to just say, yo, thank you for looking out for me and giving me some guidance. Because I know I definitely got some.
A new national holiday that's gonna fall behind Father's Day is National Male Mentorship Day. It's gonna be two
Big homie
pronged.
day.
Yeah, National Big Homie Day. It's two prongs behind Father's Day. We gotta boost those up. We gotta boost those
Yeah,
up.
big homie day. Big homie. National big homie day. I'm gonna petition for that one.
Yes, we have to.
That'd be
Well,
dope. That actually is kind of dope because, like, I mean, I don't know how you are, but like, I feel like I have, probably like five, maybe three to five men who are older than me who I can say I can pinpoint specific things they've done for me or how they've influenced my life on their interactions with me. And even though I wasn't their child, they kind of took me under their wing and treated me as like I was a younger family member.
oh yeah. Oh yeah,
So
I,
like
I got
them
I had a
dudes
few
are
of those too for
legit.
sure. Yeah, man, those guys are unforgettable. You know, because they made an imprint on your life, and they are. It takes a village, and it like my dad couldn't teach me everything. It takes a village. I'll never forget the. There's a few teachers that I think about right now off the top of my head. Dr. Law, Rafiki, Mr. Jenkins,
So
dude.
let's give a shout out to one person right now
Right now,
that you can think of who's not your father, who had a positive impact on you.
if I'm gonna name that one absolute person, it would definitely be I would say Dr. Law for sure. In my senior year, my teacher, he was my economics government teacher, and dude, I would have lunch with the guy and like kick it with him, and like he was just the nicest human being. And he was such my guy that like people would be cutting up in class, and like, dude, I wasn't the biggest dude in high school, but at the same time, I'd be like, yo, man, yeah, you need to shut up, like shut up right now, bro. Like, hey, this is not the time. Like I was one of his defenders, and like he taught me a lot, just like not more about just like economics and about government and about just the curriculum. He taught me about life. He taught me about like life choices, and like he would explain things like, hey, there's gonna be times in your life where this kind of stuff's gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Overall, man, like overall great guy, and like that man had a really big impact on my life. And honorable mention, because I got to honorable mention, is Rafiki Jenkins. I'll never forget my freshman year over at Palomar College. Man, I used to go into class like warped, bro, like super blazed, high as fuck, like not really caring about like what to further my education. And he like sat me down one day, and he knew I was high as hell. And he's like, Marcus, hey, stay after class real quick. And I was like, oh crap, here we go. Like I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, hey man, like why you coming to my class super baked? And I was like, like that's, like I'm sorry. I was in the car, doing it with my boy, and he's like, is this how you want to live your life? Is this how like you want to further your education? Is like, what do you want to do? Like, where do you want to be at? And he just honed into me like communication and about like proper communication, how to talk to people, when to talk, when to talk this way, when to talk that way, like what crowd are you talking to? Um, how to adjust, how to adapt in certain social situations. The guy was super influential, man. I appreciate him so much. What about you?
I'm gonna go my first person. I'm gonna go with my first boss. I worked at a dry cleaner in Chicago, Uptown,
Hmm.
and the owner, his name is Fahim, and he was from I think Arkansas. I think he's from Little Rock, Arkansas. And this man taught me how to be a hustler. He taught me how to hustle. He owned two dry cleaners at the time, and he told me he got to start making money selling rims. Like that's how he started. His first like kind of entrepreneurship in down south was selling rims. He's like, yeah. He's like, I sell all the rims. I got all these rims, and he's like, I was doing that, save money, putting into these cleaners, and his cleaners were very successful. They were part of a chain. It was called CD1 Price Cleaners. I'm not sure if they're even around anymore, but there's a lot of them, and he owned two, him and his wife. And man, he just really taught me the value of money. He trusted me, and he treated me more like a son. Him and his wife treated me more like a son than an employee, which was dope. So like for Christmas and stuff, if we would do Secret Santa and they would get me, the limit was like $20 for people. This dude bought me like a $250 jacket
Damn.
and was like, I had to do my, I can't. He's like, I couldn't just spend $20 on my Puerto Rican son. Like he had bought me a raw. I still remember it was a Negro League jacket, like one of those. It was a bomber Negro League jacket. I actually donated it at Chance the Rapper's. He had a coat fundraising party
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago at I can't think of the name of the place anymore. It's not open anymore. But he had a fundraiser party, and I used that. I donated that coat. This was years down the line. I was already like in my 20s. I got this coat when I was like 16. I obviously I wasn't gonna wear it anymore. It was way too big, not in style anymore. But I donated it at that Chance the Rapper fundraiser, which was kind of dope. But anyway, back to Fahim. He always looked out. Taught me like the value of a dollar. I remember he had like a BMW truck and a Lexus truck, and then one day he sold them, and then he was driving me home, and he was driving a Honda Accord, nice one, top of the line Honda Accord. And he was like, "Man, I sold that BMW and I bought this Honda Accord, and it has everything, all the features you would want in a car, and now I don't have any payments. So I paid it all off." And he taught me about how cars depreciate over time, and not to just look at what's in style. And eventually you'll get to that point where you can make those type of purchases, but it's not necessary. He taught me about my finances. He taught me on watching him and his wife grind out, like being business owners, right? Small business owners, and like making tough decisions and having to deal with people. Um, I really learned a lot from them, and I still keep in contact with them to this day, which is pretty dope. I mean, this is like 17 years later. They're still around. This dude has blown up since. I think he owns a Toyota dealership now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah, he owns like a legit certified Toyota dealership out in Texas or something like that. He's doing his thing. His wife still, she's invested in different companies, and they're doing their thing, man. They're very inspiring. And they did this, seeing them like where they started at that cleaners and seeing where they're at now with their family. I think they have like 4 kids or something. It's beautiful. My honorable mention, I don't remember his name. I took uh, an education class at Truman College when I think it was after my freshman year. I took some summer classes at Truman when I was home for the summer. And there was one of my professors, again, I can't think of his name at all. He used to refer to me as the teacher. Every time he said, "This is the teacher. He's going to be then this is only when I was a freshman. He said, "He's going to be a teacher. He's going to be a great educator." Since the first day he's met me, and just going through his class. And then I saw him about 5 years after I took his class, maybe 6 years after. I was actually by Truman. I was going to the Wrigley to go watch a game, and I was going on the red line. I'm getting on the train. He's coming off the train to go to Truman. And he's like, "Oh, it's the teacher." This dude recognized me from 5 years ago. And he was asking me what I was up to. And I explained to him, at the time I was a grad student. I was close to graduating. And I was like, I went to be a school psychologist and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, "I knew it." He's like, "I told you. You were the educator. You were the teacher. I knew you were going to do something in education from the time I met you." And it was cool to catch up with him. I wish I knew his name, but he was like a South African gentleman, older. So he's probably like in his 70s now. He was in the 60s, I believe, when I met him. Great man, very inspiring. And I guess he saw what I turned into today when I was just an ignorant ass 19-year-old.
Those people who see potential in you, you'll never forget. So I advise our listeners to take a young man. If you're our female listeners, take a young woman under your wing and try to teach them the value of life from your perspective. And kid you not, they'll remember you for the rest of your life. So I think that's what we should take from these stories is definitely take somebody under your wing. I got my boy Coop. Shout out to my boy Coop. He watches our podcast. Coop, I know you're listening. Do your push-ups. I'm proud of you. You're going to go in your master's degree program. You did your thing this year, and like that was the guy that like, hey, if I'm gonna take somebody under my wing here in Vegas, I'm taking him with me. So my boy Coop, shout out to him. He's working. He listens to our podcast. He's a subscriber. You're my boy, dude. Keep working hard. Always pull a guy under your wing and teach them everything that you know. And especially, I mean, do that to your kids too. But yeah, take somebody that's in that it helps out the community. It helps out their self esteem. It makes them feel great. It's a positive thing. So everybody out there, be positives for National Big Brother Day.
Big homie.
National Big Homie Day. There you go.
National Big Homie Day coming
Yeah,
soon.
coming soon.
Coming.
Coming soon. We should actually, you know what? We're filming this on the day before Father's Day. We
That
should
should be
just
National
that's
Big
it.
Homies
This is
Day.
it. This is it. This is today. This
The
is today.
Saturday,
Saturday is National Big Homie Day, and then it curls right into then Father's Day.
Father's
So this
Day.
is it. Next year we're celebrating this day, and we're making this a holiday for sure.
So if you're a little homie, you gotta buy your big homie a shot.
Over 21.
Yeah, so they can turn up tonight for all the time they've sacrificed helping you out. Now today is their day to kick it and turn up.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
National Big Homie Day, the Saturday before Father's Day.
Yep.
I'm with it.
I'm with it too, man. This is awesome. We created our own holiday that's going to be bigger than Father's Day because Father's Day seems like it's going nowhere. Except we will make a change.
We're gonna
We will
revitalize
make a
it. We
change.
gotta make it into a weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the whole weekend
the
now.
whole
Now it's not
weekend.
just a day.
I like it.
Let
I
me
like
get my
it.
Saturday for for all the little homies that I help, and then Sunday, for being a good dad.
Right? So before we roll into our outro, this wonderful podcast and our lovely holiday weekend that we're celebrating right now, bro, that hockey game, Game 5, were you watching that on television?
Nah, it was 9-3 or something
It
stupid
was a
like
mud hole
that.
stomping. It was a mud hole stomping. I have never been to an event that was that insane,
I
that
believe that.
crazy. The balcony area was like you look it down and like the whole area is just crowded with people. It looked like the Million Man March pictures that I used to see in like the history books. Like it was insane. So much fun. Saw the Stanley Cup. So expensive for a lot of people. If you ever get a chance and your team ever makes it to like a finals or a game that's of severe importance, try to go to it. It's worth it. It's a memorable thing that I'll never forget, and it's helping me ring in the Father's Day because I have a good aura and good feeling about me, good buzz. Shout out to these Golden Knights, baby.
I looked into tickets for Game 5 of the Nuggets. Cheapest tickets I found were 1,500 a pop.
Up hop,
A pop, yeah. So
pop.
I was looking at with fees. I was looking at like $3,300 for my wife and I to go with the baby.
Woo!
And I
Hey,
was
that's
like,
that's right.
I was like, I want to. I was like, I really want to, but I don't care for the Nuggets, and just I don't. I couldn't do it. I was like, that's a lot of bread to throw right now on a
Did you go
team
to the
that
parade? Did you go to the parade?
I no, I didn't go to the parade.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like with my knee, with the baby, it was hot. It was pretty warm that day, and all these people, and I'm good. I don't want to deal with all of that right now. We watched it on TV. It was cool. They did a good job. Very happy for their team. City of Denver is a great sports town.
Yes, it is.
It's a low key sports town that people don't really know of or speak of when you think of Colorado sports. But their Colorado sports is it's very passionate. They have a very passionate fan base,
Hmm.
from high school sports through college, through non-traditional sports, and then obviously the big four that we all
Hmm.
subscribe to in America. But it was, good for them, man. I got a couple homies out here who've been waiting their whole lives, so I'm very happy for them. They got their
Hmm.
moment. But it was cool,
Our
See you there,
podcast
go
is good.
Bulls.
Like our podcast is like big juju. It's like that good big old juju. Because we're over here in Vegas, get a championship. Over there in Denver, the championship. What is y'all? There's a parade in my city.
you know, you gotta before real quick, just
Huh?
before we wrap this up. You know of anything you are doing for Father's Day tomorrow? Is there anything
Not
that you know for sure is happening?
in my Jamaican voice. Not a dang dang mang. Not a dang thing. Like I am chilling. I am just reflecting on life. I got some sports happening. I guess the F1 Canadian race in the afternoon. I forgot the PGA Tour event that's going on in Los Angeles that I'll probably peep into. I'm just sitting down, relaxing. Call my dad. Watch some sports. I called my cousin out in Baltimore. He also watches the podcast. Shout out, John. What's up, boy? Cuzzo. And yeah, just man, I'm just kicking it. I was talking to people, talk to my mom, and just yeah, man, have little man around. He'll be running around, and I'm just kicking it, bro. I'm not doing nothing that's crazy because Monday after that, this week's coming up is just gonna be like my busy week. So I'm just kicking it. What about you?
I know for sure. Tomorrow in Denver is this weekend they're doing the Juneteenth festival,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going tomorrow for sure. They got Music Soul Child performing tomorrow
Hey,
evening
I
at like
love
six
him.
six. Yeah, me too. At like
Yeah,
6:30. So I don't care what I do tomorrow, but we're definitely going to that. So I'm excited to go to with my wife and the baby to go check out Music Soul Child, check out Denver's Juneteenth festival. They actually do a pretty good job, and it's a big one.
right.
Last year they had like David East out here. This year they have Music Soul Child. They have pretty good performers who come out. So I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good time.
Dude, shout out to David East, man. That's what's up. That's a good line.
Yeah,
That was great lineup.
they do.
You,
Yeah.
you know you know what sucks about Father's Day too, bro? Why we paired up with June 13th? You know what I mean?
With what?
With
Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Yeah, like why?
Uh,
Why? It's like so. In other words, not only is it the 22nd like worst holiday, it's in the 20th or whatever, but it's also paired up with one of like the worst massacres in history for black people. You know what I mean? So like, we gotta push it back a week or move it forward a week because like, come on, man, like, we gotta give some fathers respect out here. It's like we can celebrate, and then it's like, oh man, like it's kind of like my birthday. My birthday is like a smoke holiday, but then Hitler's birthday is also too. So it's like, it's like yeah.
uh, yeah, no, I don't know, man. Every month something bad happens every day, man. It's been so our world history is nothing but violence and hatred. So every single day you can have a negative thing. So let's focus on the positives of today's society because every day there has probably been a massacre in the world somewhere on every single day. If you really want to dig into the books,
What is Cameron saying? Paid in full, and then just die every day.
yeah,
B.
every day, b, every day. You know what I mean? And today ain't nothing special.
And while you're trying to think about something to do on Father's Day while in the bathroom, what will you be doing?
Yeah, studies say men go to the bathroom longer when they have kids and are married. So while you're sitting there pondering and pondering and pondering, you're going to finish that 2 minute poop that you dropped out on little rabbit turds, wipe off, jump in the shower, turn around cold real fast to man up, get that shock in your system. Then you're going to take the soap, put it in your ass, and wash away with a washcloth because you need it. And don't use that washcloth on your face, you nasty man. You. I know some of y'all have made that mistake and went straight from the ass to the face. Don't lie to me. I know you did it, you nasties.
Why is my rag so rugged right now? It's got
Yeah, right.
dingleberries on.
Did you get that? It's a little tart. Nah, that ain't tart, boy. That's ass.
That's all ass in your face. Hey, while you're getting pink eye, make sure you're also thinking about your big homie today. And happy Father's Day to everybody. We love you guys. We support you guys. You guys support us. Hey, 21st episode. Peace.
Peace. Happy Father's Day to the real ones. And if you're deadbeat, fuck you.
Yes.